I don't know why it takes. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I have a little bit of echo. I have no idea why, but welcome to the LadyPreneur on Fire Tuesday live training with yet another lovely lady that is going to do the training today. And it's already episode number 5. So this is really starting to become something really awesome. The lady that is going to do the training today, I just spoke to her for the first time, and I can really say she is really a lovely lady with a big heart and with a lot of knowledge. So she is married and she is from upstate New York, but living already 22 years in Los Angeles. She did a little side trip to London for 3 years. She studied in Australia, so she was a little bit already all over the place. She has 2 beautiful daughters from 4 and 7 years old, and she is in communications and marketing. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce you to her, and her name is Beth Noel Magin, sorry, and here she is. Beth, are you there? Yes, there she is. Hello, Beth. How are you?
Hi, thank you for that. That was wonderful.
Thank you for being here, for taking the time to help educate, to help inform, and to help inspire other ladypreneurs out there to get the best out of their online business. So I'm really excited to talk to you, and because the subject that you are going to talk about is something that I really believe in, because mindset and the way you live is so important when you are in business. It's important for your life, but it is also important for your business. So tell us a little bit about Beth. I told already a little bit, but tell us more.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me, Monique. This is a real pleasure, and thank you everyone for joining who's here. So, you know, a little bit about me and how I came to be an online entrepreneur. I worked for 14 years in the corporate world. You know, I was in advertising and marketing, and a lot of people will be like, oh, but wasn't that fun? I'm like, well, you know, I mean, sure, maybe it's more fun than doing heart surgery, maybe, but you know, it wears on you. Anyone that's worked in a 9 to 5, and I just realized at one point, I'm like, I just don't want to do this for, you know, the rest of my life. You know, I don't want to just sort of retire at 65 and then travel. Plus I had traveled a ton, and I also ran my own business at one point, a wellness business. And I've always been active. I've coached marathoners. I've taught yoga and Pilates. I used to teach swim classes. Like, that was my job when I was in high school and college, you know, so health and fitness and living, you know, by my heart, you know, has kind of always been my way. So it made sense last year to try to take a leap, and I didn't actually leave my job right away. I started my business on the side, and so it has now led me to doing it full time. There was a reorg at my job, and here I am, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm making it work. So here we are.
So you took the leap. You took the leap of faith. You said, I can do this, and you started. So that is wonderful. But you were in marketing. You were a 9 to 5, or like you said, but you also had your Pilates and yoga business. You took that with you to England. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I actually taught here in LA. I stopped doing it when I moved to England, but basically I also was working a 9 to 5. It was in my 20s, and I just was like, wow, I got out of college and this is what my degree is giving me. It really wasn't very fulfilling, to be honest. I mean, again, I was working in kids promotions. It was a fun job, but, you know, in the end, I just always knew I wanted to give back more and have more impact in some way or form, and still make money. You know, I didn't want to just, you know, go volunteering, you know, that, you know, and some people do that as well. I'm not downing that, but, you know, I like money too. So, so you know, and I've always been into health and fitness, and I started taking yoga, and I loved it so much. So I'm like, I'm going to teach yoga. why not? There's other people doing that here. So I started with yoga, and then I expanded into Pilates, and then I wound up doing massage. And I actually was a rehabilitative yoga and Pilates instructor. So I worked a lot with people that had back surgeries, people that were going through depression, people that had, you know, knee surgery, things like that for these different doctors, infertility, all kinds of things. So it was really, I was one of their tools, right? In their toolbox, which for me really made me feel good because I can't even stand the sight of blood. So for me to be a doctor or something, that would have never happened. But you know, the amazing anatomy I learned when I was doing Pilates and things like that, like I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I just can't do the other stuff, you know, when it comes to medicine. So yeah, and it just really fit with my lifestyle. And then when I moved to London, actually, that was when I went back to my degree. And I've always stayed, you know, within a holistic lifestyle. I've always eaten well or tried my best to do self-care. But, you know, today I'm going to talk about how to not fall off the wagon, you know, and what things can happen when you do fall off the wagon and how to get back on it, you know. So that's kind of
amazing. I love that. And you also said something that is really important, and it was just a little sentence, but I think that is something that comes back all the time, is that you said, I like to make money. And how many women don't think that that is not good? You shouldn't think that you should earn money and so on. So is that also something that why you want to do this training, to shift a little bit the mindset of women, that it's okay, and even more than okay, to want to earn some money?
Oh, it is important to have your own money. I have always had my own money, and I will always have my own money.
Yeah.
I do know women, though, that have went for years and years and years without their own money. And the toll it takes on you mentally and physically, because you feel as if you are sort of under someone or having to ask for, right? You're not a child anymore. So it's not like when you're a kid and you got to ask your dad for $1 or $20 or whatever to go do this or that. It's very different when you become an adult, and then there's things you want to do and you're like, oh, I've got to like negotiate with my husband or with my parents or whoever it is that you're receiving money from if you're not making your own.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel grew up in a home where it was encouraged, you know, that you should make your own money.
Yeah.
You know, my dad was actually a very big proponent. I don't think a lot of women can say that. And so maybe that's how I can sit here very confidently and say, I like money, I want money, and I'm going to make money, right? We do a lot of money trainings in my business, and it's really interesting the amount of blocks people have around money, myself included. Believe you me, I have my own.
Okay.
I'm not really there yet. So
awesome. So why, I asked you, we met only a few times over Messenger, and you said immediately yes. Why is this training so important for you, and why is this subject, helping other ladypreneurs help grow their business online, also important? Why did you say yes immediately?
Well, you know, I do think it's important to show other women what is possible, right? There are so many opportunities out there for people, and there is skepticism. You know, it is possible to feel like either I can't do that, or what is that person up to? What do they want from me, right? But the online space now is like going to your local mall. It literally is like showing up at your mall. You go into the stores that you feel comfortable in. You go into the places or talk to the people that you are looking for their service. You know, people are coming at you that you're like, I'm not in, you know, they're selling you something you don't want, just like you would at the mall. No, thank you. You know, and that's all you have to do. It's very, I know it's a very different world. You know, I didn't grow up with the internet. I'm of an age, you know, so it is something that you have to, you know, I'd say, I don't know if it's get used to, but, you know, it's something to review. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Research. And so you think about and always be, you know, conscious of what you're doing. But as an overall, it is an incredible space. There are people helping people every single day online. I've met so many I mean, here I am talking to someone in Holland. I mean, I would have never thought that this was possible 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You know, she and I, you know, Monique and I are right now just helping other people just by being here.
Yeah,
so I mean, that makes me happy.
There are many negative things to say about internet, but this is one of the best things, that we can connect with so many wonderful people all over the world, and that we can spread the positivity to help other women. So, well, tell us, holistic lifestyle benefits to grow your business or to attract business. Tell us a little bit more about your training.
Sure. So, you know, today I'm just going to talk a little bit about like some of the benefits of a holistic lifestyle, the things that could happen if you don't practice it more regularly. You know, I mean, we're all human, remember? So this is not a steadfast, this is what you have to do and your business will grow. But, you know, these are some tips and just things that I implement on the regular in order to, you know, stay like sane mind and make, you know, smart and conscious decisions about myself, my family, my business, right? So that's, you know, that's kind of what I'm here to do and talk about today. So, you know, what is a holistic lifestyle?
Yeah.
You know, for some, they just think, oh, I got to eat healthy, you know, or some they might think, oh, I got to exercise and I don't want to, you know, but it really incorporates everything, right? It incorporates your mind, your emotion, your soul, your body, right? And then there's those certain things that fall under some of those categories. And like one that I really want to highlight is self-care, right? And I will get into that. So, you know, what I kind of already said this, but I'll go over them again. Like some of the benefits of a holistic lifestyle, right? You have increased mental clarity, right? Because you're eating better, you're sleeping more, you're, you know, not making decisions on the fly. You know, you have less stress, less anxiety, less overwhelm. I know I get overwhelmed really easily, you know, when there's so many opportunities, especially in front of you and in the online space. You know, people are coming at you a lot, like they're not only just their opportunity, but things that, you know, they want you to do or things they want you to buy. And, you know, making choices is hard when, you know, you're in that overwhelmed state. So how do you get out of that overwhelmed state? And then also just like your own self-awareness and alignment, you know, with your higher self so that you can live a life of purpose and you can, you know, grow yourself in the way that you want and be there for the people in your life and for the people in your business. So, you know, let's just talk about some mindful practices, right? Things that you can do to sort of up the level of your mind, right? So there are so many resources out there, right? There's books, there's podcasts. You can get on someone's Facebook page or profile and listen to lives. There are so many ways to find resources these days, right? You don't just have to go to the library. You don't have to wait for your monthly subscription. You know, I remember in college, I used to read Shape magazine all the time because it had like, pretty much it was like a holistic magazine, right? It had the working out, you know, how to do certain things, you know, cleaning things up, whatever. But, you know, you don't have to wait for that now. No. You can get online, and that's where what Monique and I were talking about earlier, how there's so much amazing stuff online. And you don't even have to grow a business online, but if you are trying to grow a business, it is so fertile. You know, it's not like opening a door on a brick and mortar and waiting for people to walk in. You can go and find people and join groups, and, you know, so as far as your mind though, you know, research what it is you're interested in. Get familiar what it is that you're interested in. You know, continue to be curious, because the more you learn about others and the more you learn about yourself, the more you expand and the more you can help others, right? And the more you can help yourself. So some things to sort of manage emotions as they come up, because, you know, we are humans and we are light beings, right? We're energetic. And there are going to be things that are going to sway us, push us, or make us feel a certain way when really we have to sort of make more of a decision, right? Now, some of the decisions, you know, there's a whole heart mind thing, and I could get into NLP, but you know, you really should always make decisions from your heart. Like if it feels like it is wrong for whatever reason, do not move forward. And it doesn't matter if you're going to be making thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter if someone's telling you it's the best thing in the world, whatever it is, right? There are convincing people out there. So, you know, do your best. And the way to sort of move from your heart and learn and know what your heart wants is journaling, body movement. You know, that can be as simple as doing some yoga or going for a walk around your neighborhood when you need to make a decision so that you can sort of change yourself, right?
Clear your head.
You know, that's very grounding, very grounding. I don't know if anyone's ever watched the movie 𝗟𝗡𝗡. Have you ever watched that movie?
No. What's the name of the movie?
𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗡.
𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗡?
I think it's called 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗡. Yeah, I can send you after this.
Yeah, please. I can put it in the notes. Yeah.
It's an incredible movie that shows you how to ground yourself and how we become grounded very easily by taking our shoes off and walking around in the grass. You know? So, and you know, the movie will do a better job of explaining all of the science behind that, but there is electromagnetic fields and things like that. But things that can sort of temper your, like, you know, temper your emotions, right? So coloring, you know, sit down and focus on one thing, but not something where you have to think or write, you know, all those types of things. I mean, sometimes I just like play a game with my kids, you know, like a board game, just to sort of, or like Uno or something, just to sort of take my, you know, off of the thing that I'm trying to figure out, if that makes sense. Because sort of extract yourself from the thinking, you can get back into, you know, a different, it's not even a different mindset. You get into your body, right? You get grounded. So let's talk about getting grounded and some of the other practices. So there's meditation and breath work, right? That is so incredibly important. And this doesn't mean you have to be a hippie or a yogi or have any kind of expertise in any of this. First of all, you can get on YouTube and find 1 million meditations and 1 million people teaching breath work. But even if you don't do that, you can sit very quietly in a room. You can even go in your bathroom if you've got a really loud house, close the door and give yourself 5 minutes. You know, 3 minutes max. You know, between 3 and 5 minutes, you would be amazed if you just sit, close your eyes, and take a couple of breaths in, say like 5 in, 5 out, and do that for a total of 3 to 5 minutes. Your entire body will relax. And whatever relax means to you or feels for you, you know, I'm not trying to prescribe you're going to relax, you know. It is definitely something that I employ a lot. I just take 3 or 5 minutes. I sit down on my couch behind me here, or, you know, if I have to, I go into the bathroom, you know, generally not. I can usually find a room, but it is one of the things that is your life source, right? Your breath, your prana. And if you are having trouble connecting to that, then you are definitely not connected to yourself, right? Because that is what keeps you moving. If you don't have breath, you don't have life, right? So, you know, that's where anxiety comes from. And I've struggled with anxiety. So I know what it's like to have that lack of breath or that feeling of complete and utter non-control of myself and of my body. So, you know, it's really important to have something that you do that grounds you, because there are going to be decisions and there are going to be things that are going to come up while you're trying to grow your business. And you're just going to feel that either anxiety or the overwhelm that comes with trying to, like, you know, run your family or figure out what's going on with your, you know, parents or whatever it is, you know, life happens.
And isn't it going to help you to make better decisions because you make them out of calmness, out of your body, and not out of fear or anxiety?
Or even lack, right? That feeling of like 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗏, right? So, you know, the other thing, so I was talking about sort of taking 5 minutes when you're actually in that state, but you won't get in that state if you create a routine. Right? I'm not saying you'll never get in it. Everybody at one point in time, you know, has that overwhelming feeling, you know, life happens. But routine is super important. Now, a lot of people talk about morning routines. I personally am a morning person. I've always been a morning person. So for me, a morning routine makes sense. And I'll talk about my morning routine in a second. But for those of you who are night people, it is okay to have a night routine.
But what if you are not a morning people and not a night people, like I was before? Because now I'm a morning person. It's something I think you can learn. But I wasn't a morning person. I wasn't an evening person. What do you do in the meantime?
Well, you know, I mean, maybe that's where you take midday.
Yeah.
You know, and you say, you know, you eat your lunch and that's your meditative time, and then you right before you eat, you sit down and you do your meditation, you do some of your journaling, and then you have your lunch or something, you know. I actually really like midday meditations, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, I don't know if anyone knows him, but like, he doesn't recommend that at all. And a lot of meditation practitioners do not recommend.
The one I do is 3 times a day, and that's from Dr. Patrick Porter.
Oh, okay. I don't know him. All right. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so and the reason I say that is someone on my team was struggling with this. She was like, I am just not a morning person, right? I was getting up and she was like forcing it. Yeah. So then you're just forced. It's like another task on your list. So you know, we all have tasks and we have to get things done throughout the day, whether it's for your business or for your life. But if you put your routine, you know, the thing that's supposed to settle you and ground you, into a forced position, not good. So
not local. No.
That's why I wanted to say that. So, but my morning routine, it varies and it can vary, but it should be consistent in its varying, if this makes sense. I always wake up pretty early. Actually, today I started a practice of doing 108 sun salutations. So I started with 1 today, and I'm going for 108 days, and I will work up to 108 sun salutations. And so, you know, usually I get up and I take a walk, but today was the first day and it was live. So I just had to get that. I got that done and kind of got that situated. So now each day I'll probably get up, do my walk, and then do the sun salutations until they get, you know, too long. But what I'm talking about is physical movement. I think sometimes that's really good. You can stretch, you can take a walk. Some people not interested in the physical in the morning. That's absolutely fine. They leave their workout for later. But it's really important each day to just get really grateful, right? Write some gratitude down. Okay, how do you do that? What does that even mean, right? Well, there's a book called The Magic, if anyone's ever heard of it or read it. It's by Rhonda Byrne. We actually just did the 28 days of magic in our group. And each day you get up and you write 10 things that you're grateful for. Now, yes, you can write, oh, I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for the food I have, the house I have, but you have to write why. That's when you're sinking into the emotion of your gratitude. And then you'll see what you really are grateful for, what it is that really lights you up, right? So I do about 5 of those. I don't do the 10 that she recommends because I just don't really have the time, because I'd rather spend a little bit more of that time journaling. And the reason you journal is to just dump your ideas, dump your thoughts, dump your emotions, dump whatever's happening in your life onto a piece of paper, and you would be amazed at how much better you feel. I mean, it's sort of like therapy on paper, really, if you've ever been in therapy. So, and your morning routine can be as long as as an hour, 2 hours, but it can be as short as a half hour or 20 minutes. You know, I know people that do 5-minute meditation, 5-minute writing, 5 minutes of stretching, and then they're done. And they're done in 15, 20 minutes, right? But it's just the habit of doing it, because you're committing.
And you're building character also.
You're yes, right? You're obviously your character is being built because you're like, you know, I have committed. You know, imagine after doing that for 20, 30, 40, 50 days, a whole year, and you can say to someone, I committed to getting up for myself for 20 minutes every day, even if it is only 20 minutes. And I don't say that's bad. I just say people think that they have to have this long, meditative, you know, Buddha-like, you know, journey every morning. No, you would be surprised what 5 to 10 minutes will do for you, but committing to it is what really makes a change.
And it makes you proud. I'm doing the cold shower in the morning, like Tony Robbins said, and it is awful to do.
Oh, how
but I do it, and every time I'm so proud that I did it because it's so cold. The first thing I do, I drink some water, and then I hit the cold shower. And oh my God, it's not fun, but afterwards you feel so much better because your blood is streaming so hard. And he swears by it, and he said the benefits are so important for your body. So I'm sticking to that routine, and afterwards, like you said, journaling and meditation and so on. But the cold shower in the morning is something.
How long is your shower? I'm so curious about that because
it's only some 20 seconds to a minute, because it doesn't have to take long. It's the fact that you do it and that your whole body is so cold, and then afterwards you can take your warm shower and then end with a cold shower, or you get out of the shower and you get dressed. But it's the fact that you give your body a cold shock that is going to, that your heart is going beating faster, your blood is streaming, and it's building character. And he has his, in every house he has the cold tub with almost freezing water, and he gets in there. It's only 1 minute, I think. So it's full health benefits, yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's something I've been wanting to do, and I'm like,
it's
every once in a while I have a cold shower because the shower hasn't warmed up and I gotta get in, but it hasn't been purposeful yet.
Yeah.
So that's really good. That's really good. So, you know, and then just to talk a little bit more about body, I don't know where we are with time because I've got a couple more things to talk about.
Still a few minutes, no problem.
So, you know, natural remedies, food. It's really important to eat whole food. Okay, I am not going to say I never have a cookie. I'm not going to say that I never, you know, eat. And I do. I have sugar. I have a very, very moderate way of eating. You know, I'm not somebody that sits down and stuffs a big box of cookies in my mouth. I just haven't been that way. I don't know why, whatever. But I'm saying, I'm not saying stop everything. Some people do. Some people are like, all I eat is vegetables. They go vegan or whatever. But I eat everything, but it's always in moderation. Okay. And most of the things that I do eat, though, are whole, right?
Okay.
You know, I'm very picky about the meat that I eat. I'm very picky about the vegetables that I choose and the fruit. I mean, I'm very lucky. I live in California. I have loads of farmers markets I can go to, right? So it is important. And the other thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to what you consume is water. Hydrate. You know, it's so important to hydrate. I'm a fainter. I've been fainting my whole life. And I think part of it was because I was dehydrated a lot of the times. I mean, I supposedly have an overactive 𝗧𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I don't know. I think, too, there have been times I fainted because I've been like overtired, dehydrated, and stressed. You know, a lot of times it was when I was traveling very long periods of time on a plane, I would faint, or a train or something. Oh yeah, I've turned planes around. Oh yeah, I have some very traumatic fainting experiences, and nothing like that. Like I was fine, but you know, for everyone around me, it was definitely
it was scary. Yeah.
Yeah, way more. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. They're like, no, you have to get off the plane. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Just let me go home. No, you know. But anyway, so hydration, really, really important. And you know, you can look it up online. I don't know the mathematical, but you know, find out what your weight is and how much you should be drinking. And stick to that, because that's another character building and another commitment that you can make to yourself. And it's really interesting how much better you feel towards the end of the day. Like when you're really feeling tired, or you want that third cup of coffee at like 3 p.m, which is really not ideal, because then that, you know, interrupts your sleep patterns. You know, just drink water. Just drink. Even if you don't feel like drinking water, drink water. And if water is just like, you know, just have some natural tea. You know, I sometimes in the afternoon, if I'm just not feeling like water and I want something like that hot, I'll have like an orange tea, or I'll have a chamomile. Chamomile is not the best in the afternoon because it will make you a little tired, but just something that, you know, hibiscus tea. There's all kinds of beautiful teas out there that you can drink that midday that aren't going to put you down, you know? So you know, that's related to body. But then I just want to end with self-care. I had mentioned this at the beginning and how important this is. And self-care doesn't mean like making sure you get to the massage parlor, right? No. What it means is really looking at what it is that lights you up, what it is that calms you down, getting really aware of who you are and what you need, and then doing those things. You know, sometimes it means like going out for a drink with a friend. That is self-care, right? But sometimes it does mean getting into bed maybe a little bit earlier than you usually do, or taking a night where you do go to bed literally 2 hours before you normally would because you are exhausted. That is self-care, because you're aware of what it is that you're feeling, and you're aware that you're just more exhausted than usual for whatever reason. And there doesn't have to be a reason. You know, you don't have to search for that or give anyone an excuse why you got into bed at 8 o'clock at night as opposed to 10, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, reading or, you know, calling up a friend you haven't talked to in a long time. Yes, exercise. Yes, go get those facials and massages. Absolutely. But I feel like when people hear self-care, they feel like they got to go spend a ton of money on some kind of treatment. Yeah. And no, it doesn't always mean that, you know. It really just means becoming aware of yourself and taking care of those things that are not feeling right and are not serving you, you know.
And self-care isn't selfish.
Is not selfish. Exactly. And that's a hard thing to swallow, you know. I'm a mom of 2 very young kids, and you know, they're very demanding, you know, from the second they wake up. So, and you know, they were in daycare when I was working, and it's really interesting being home. And then COVID happened, obviously, last year, and they were at home, and it was like, whoa, you know, a lot, right? But you know, so it's important to, you know, self-care, and self-care is the routine in the morning too, or in the afternoon, or in the evening when you do your regular routine. So just be conscious of those things. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today is, you know, paying attention to the whole, you know, your mind, your body, your soul, your emotions, and making sure that self-care is like pretty much on the top of your list. Right. I don't know why it wouldn't be. And going back to what Monique started this whole conversation with is, you know, making money, because making money and growing your business is like one of the best self-cares that you can possibly have.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing to end this training on. I love that. Thank you very much. If you could send me the link to Earthing, the Moving, and did you say Rhonda Byrne, The Magic? Was that the book that you said? I will also put the links into the notes later on. But I really want to thank you. This was an awesome training, and I learned a lot. And it is so very important. So people, they can find you on your Facebook page and on your Facebook profile. But I also found you on Instagram. So I put the link to Instagram also in the notes, so they can reach out to you and ask you some more questions if that's okay with you. And I really want to thank you for today, for your generous time and for teaching us a lot, because I think women need that. We often think that first everybody else and then it's us, but I think, like Jim Rohn said, put your mask on first and then that on the other people, because if you faint, like you said, then you cannot help other people. So it's not selfish. Self-care is important if you want to be a better person. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely.
Do you have some final words of wisdom to add to that?
I mean, I think you encapsulated it. Just be kind to yourself and take time for yourself, you know, and then things will fall into place.
Yes, absolutely. I think so. Thank you, Beth. That was very, very generous and very important. So I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the luck in your business. I think we'll hear a lot from you. So take care. Have a great day, and let's talk later.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So wasn't this an awesome training from Beth Noel Magin? I have forgotten forgotten how I pronounce it. I will ask her later. So I don't like it when I don't pronounce the names good. So this was really awesome, because we women, we often tend to think that we are selfish if we do not put our family first, or if we do not put everything first, and we think of us only at the last part of the day. And it is so important, because if you are very tired and if you get ill, who is going to take care of all the rest? So you have to think that, of self-care as something that is really important into your life. It's not only important into your life and to your personal life, but also into your business life. Because if you are a better person, if you are having much more fun into your business, then this is something that you are going really to show other people, and it's going to attract the people to you that you like to work with, or that want to be your clients, because it gives them trust. It gives them the feeling that they are working with a real person, and that is really what you need into your business. So if you need more information about a holistic lifestyle, or how you can do this, please reach out to Beth. The links are in the notes, so you can ask her some questions. And for now, I'm going to wish you an awesome evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I see you next week on episode number 6 of the Tuesday live training for Ladypreneurs on Fire. Thank you for being there. Bye-bye.